finishing up my day, and I just started football season, so extremely excited about that. I coach fifth and sixth graders. Very exciting. And yesterday was our first day, and we got some very talented kids. So I think it's going to be a fun season. It's going to be a long season. Obviously, when you're a full-time entrepreneur, it's work around the clock, but it's something I'm passionate about, and I'm glad that my schedule gives me time, right? Flexibility to be able to do these things. But one of the things I wanted to jump on right quick, and I want to, that's not it. I wanted to show you and invite you to Business Breakthrough Masterclass. That's right, Business Breakthrough Masterclass is going to be July 26th through the July 29th. And I am going to be breaking down what you need to do inside of your business in order for you to grow, in order for you to scale, in order for you to hit that six-figure mark, if you will. So shout out to you, one, for being brave enough, courageous enough to start your business, but two, starting is just not enough, right? We want to grow it, we want to scale that thing, and we just want to have some purpose behind what we do. So what we're going to talk about, one, I think it's not talked about enough, because sometimes we look online and it seems like social media makes business seem easy, and it is not. And it also tells you things like, hey, it takes a few years for you to scale and grow, and that's generally the case, not because it takes that long, but because that's how many mistakes you make before you actually get it right. And so what I want to do, what my purpose is, my passion is about, is helping people get it right from the beginning. And how we do that is really set you up for success by essentially like franchising your business. Now, I was a franchisor for a number of years, and I went to the conferences and understood what makes the greats great. And what makes them great is that their business strategy. And what they do is they communicate really well how they do things, and they do that same thing over and over again without getting bored. And as they do it, they grow, they hit economies of scale, which means as you get larger, your prices start to decrease. And then as you learn so much from what you're doing, that you start getting this institutional knowledge, this the intellectual IP that you can either put in memberships and other type of products and services, franchises, things like that to kind of grow your revenue. So what are we going to learn in the 4-day business masterclass? First of all, click on the link in my bio. There's going to be a link for you to sign up. It's actually free. And then there's also a VIP option, or we're going to ask some questions an hour before the event. So definitely meet me there. That's going to be July 26th through the 29th. But this is what we got. So we're going to talk about the foundations in business. And I want to do this. Let me see if I can do this. No, it's not me. All right, this might work. All right, sweet. All right, so you can see me and you can see the screen. So hopefully you can see this. All right, cool. You can see that triangle? Bet. All right, so we have a triangle in business, and say on the bottom of the triangle, just like if you're building a house, is your foundation. And the first thing in business, what you need to do is build your foundation. And you might be asking, what does that consist of? And for me, foundation consists of, first and foremost, but your psychology. Your psychology is like why you got into business. What is your game plan? What is your vision? Why are you unique? What is your value propositions? So often we get into business for the wrong reasons. Maybe we're just chasing cash. We're chasing shiny object syndrome. But when it's time to grow, when it's time to scale, and when things get challenging, if you don't have this strategy and these systems in place, it's going to be hard for you to actually like pass that glass ceiling, but two, for people to want to join you on your journey. So you got to have a vision. So first starts with psychology. And I told you earlier that I'm a coach. And when I coach, what I like to do is set forth the foundations, manage everyone's expectations up front, and put forth some sort of a game plan. So when we played, and I played in the NFL for a number of years, we never got to the line of scrimmage or on game day and said, all right, this is what we're gonna do. We were prepared. We practiced all week long. We watched practice, we studied film, we did everything we could to be prepared for the game. And the business is the same way. You have to put in strategies. what we're going on to almost August. A lot of people are just rounding out the year, trying to finish this year strong, but some companies are already planning for next year. And those are the companies. I saw something online with Jeff Bezos, probably the richest dude in the world. He gave like half his stuff away. He's still the richest. That's crazy. But he said they talked about his earnings report. You gotta give your earnings report to market, and they said, hey, it was so good. He was like, that was 2 years ago. Like the things we did 2 years ago, like was the result of what you've seen last period. And the same thing is in your business. What you're doing today, the seed that you're sowing today, are going to be, you're going to see those fruits. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe 6 months from now, a year from now, but you got to stick with it. The second thing in your foundation is your people. You got to have the right people. You got to have the right people, and you got to give them what they need, the tools they need to be successful. But you got to know what people you need. Every business don't necessarily need the same people. But what is that? What do you need for your business? The next one you need is processes. Regardless of what people you need, what they all need is processes. They need to know your secret sauce. They need to know how you do things, because you want to do those things repeatable time and time again, and that's when you really get good. I love people, I really do. But what I've learned by running businesses and being an entrepreneur, that I would rather be process dependent than people dependent. When you're process dependent, you can someone leaves, something happens, someone calls out, you can depend on your processes and your systems. When you're people dependent, someone leaves, like your business may be like shut down forever. So really understand how you document what you do and how you communicate that. What are your onboarding strategies? What are all this information? Next up, after we build our foundation, right? We build our foundation. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to decide our, can you see this? You can see this, cool, KPIs. When you decide your KPIs, what are we talking about there? So if we're in business, we have some sort of product or service, right? And that product or service of why we're in business for. So that product or service, like what is that product or service? Because all of them are not selected equally. Some of them, right, are going to cost you. Some of them are going to require your time. Some of them are going to end up the result you trading time for money. We want to stay away from those. So in the masterclass, what we're going to teach you is the different business models and where does your product or service fall within those business models. There's some business models where you sell big qualities with high margins. That's essentially where you want to go. But in order to get there, obviously you're going to have to add value and be viable. But we're going to teach you about all that stuff during the 4-day masterclass. Next up in deciding your KPIs is going to be your place. And obviously your physical location is important, your 4-wall marketing, your cleanliness, all that stuff is key. But when I'm talking about place, I'm talking about your digital footprint. And how does that look? How do you look online? Anymore, in order for when people make decisions, they're checking your Facebook, they're checking your Instagram, they're seeing if you're legit. And if you aren't, there's going to be some questions. So are you relevant online? If not, then we definitely have to build a strategy to help you get there. Lastly, when deciding KPIs, didn't want to do that. Let me draw my triangle again. Cool. It's going to be profit. So when we're talking about profit, like you should be able to look at a dashboard and see what expenses are going out and what income is coming in. Like, do you have good record keeping in your business? Do you have predictable, reliable cash flow? And do you know where it's coming from? And those are the things you should have documented, or some type of scorecard dashboard inside your business where you're keeping track of that on a day-to-day. So if that makes sense, let me see you in the chat says that makes sense. Let me know if you have these things inside your business. And then this is the great part. And this is unfortunately where everyone skips to. And I think so many people, there's such a thing as like driving sales too quick or having too much business. Because if you have too much business, if you don't have your systems in place, I think you can be very destructive, because then you'll have terrible reviews. No one wants to, do business with you again. You won't have repeat customers. You won't have retention. But that last piece, once you have your foundation set, once you understand what you're measuring, because I believe if you measure it, you can manage it. So you know exactly what you're looking at. That last thing is going to be driving sales. So how do you drive, sales? And we're talking about drive sales. There's a couple things we could do there in that area. the first thing we could do, make sure this, let's see if I can write it so you can see it. The first one is promotions. And that's marketing, promotions. You should have a marketing calendar, ideally for the year. Some events happen seasonal inside your business. You know how the ups and downs in your business. Kids are going back to school. There's going to be Christmas. There's going to be Halloween. There's going to be Thanksgiving. There's going to be spring breaks. There's so many things inside of our business that we can already predict. And if we can predict it, then we can start now building out plans on how we're going to attack it, and not wait until the last minute and say, oh, the kids are going back to school, let's put something together, and then rushing, right? That's not the way you want to do business. You want to have your promotions already set up for the year, and then when you look at your marketing and advertising, you should be able to figure out where those dollars are going, and more importantly, how are they being tracked back to income. So you should look at marketing instead of an expense. You should look at it as an investment. So how are you doing that? And you got to again, your place, you got to be digital. You got to have tools in place in order for you to measure that and manage that and make sure that you're effective. After that, we have procurement. I think the best way, again, to drive sales is sometimes on your purchasing side. So where are you purchasing from? Do you have a vendor list? Are you staying current with commodities as they rise? Do you have alternatives? Going back to our products, depending on your procurement and what you're getting, should you have a different type of product suite? Should you offer different offerings? And all that depends, right? So it kind of all works together. And lastly, once you have all these things together, it's going to be partnership. And that's when, you've been doing a great job, you begin out great service, and people want to come and do business with you. And not only that, people want to join you and want to promote you and want to work alongside with you in order to promote what you're doing to their communities. And I think that is like holy grail of business, where you get other people marketing what you do. You look at Amazon, you look at some of the biggest people in the world. I just recently joined eXp Realty Group, and I looked at that as a model similar to your Amazon model, similar to your Airbnb model, similar to your VRBO model, your Uber model. Like, some of the biggest companies in the world don't own assets, physical assets. They own digital assets. They own emails. They own phone numbers. And I think, the cloud is so important, and you can scale so big once you have your systems in place. And you can have that partnership, but you got to build a business. You got to build a business that's reliable. You got to build a business that you're not the bottleneck in, and that you can scale and that you can grow. So I hope that makes sense. That was really quick and dirty. I apologize. That was about 13 minutes. But at the end of the day, if you want like a deeper dive and go into details, or if you're someone who asks questions, like for me, like I got questions. I got specific questions for me and what I do, and that's you, then I would sign up for the VIP. So the link is going to be in my bio. You can sign up right here. It's going to be a 4-day masterclass. It's going to be amazing. You're going to learn about how you can finish this last year strong, and how you can go into 2023 with a plan on how you're going to attack it. Have the confidence, being a CEO, being an owner, president of a business, sometimes the loneliest game there is. A lot of times we don't have people to talk to that can understand what it is that we're going through, our fears and frustrations. They don't know how we're going to get there. We tell people we want to be $1 million company, a $10 million company, a $100 million company. They laugh at us. But guess what? That's okay, because that's not their dream. It's your dream. Protect your dream. Fight for your dream. Let's go get your dream. Let's make it happen. And sometimes we need help. And I'm excited that I get a chance to do that. So if you're someone that wants help, that wants to grow, that wants to scale, tap in, sign up for the 4-day Business Breakthrough Challenge. Again, it's July 26th through the 29th. It's going to be from 12 to 1 every single day. I'm going to show up and show out. You're going to have a workbook. You're going to do work. It's going to be fun. It's going to be engaging. So I look forward to seeing you there. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, please leave them in the chat, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Hope you have a blessed day. I'm like getting amped up because practice starts at 5:30 and it's about 4 o'clock. So I'm building right now. I all got there, lead them in stretch, lead them in some drills. Today is defense, so we're gonna be tackling. I'm not gonna throw on my pads. I don't need to do that. I probably just show them some old footage or something, right? And show them how I used to get down. But nevertheless, I'm excited. Finishing out my day strong. Hope you do the same, and hope that I see you next week in the Business Breakthrough 4-Day Challenge. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great day.